Welcome back to the Core U series here at Physicians Total Wellness and Ptwow. I'm Dr. Vikram Dhillon. In this segment, we are going to be discussing supplementation. Now, supplementation is one of the foundational pieces of integrated weight loss here at Physicians Total Wellness and Ptwow. Why is supplementation such an important issue? It really is for one reason, and that is that the materials that we have evolved with, the pieces of our diet, the pieces of our environment that have been present for large parts of our lives as a species are no longer present. They are not present for any number of reasons, but primarily because of the way that we have structured our society. Supplementation is simply a way of reintroducing pieces that have originally been there, have been there for the vast majority of time that we have existed, but are no longer present. Why are they not present? They're not present because, for instance, with vitamin D, we don't spend much time in the sun. With regards to our food, many pieces of our food have been removed. Pieces such as phytonutrients, pieces such as nutrition within the soil that might occur with rotation of plants or plants growing in a diverse habitat. In many ways, our food has these pieces added back to it. Our food has also changed dramatically in the sense that it is not as diverse for many of us as it had been in the past. We largely live in a corn-based society. What implications does that have? These are all pieces of consideration that are very important, and it's not without reason and not without association that incidence of obesity and overweight have increased as our food system has changed and as our food has been engineered differently, as the pieces of our diet have changed. And we'll talk about these pieces more extensively during your coaching sessions and during our one-on-ones. But what I want to do in this segment is really to introduce to you the core pieces of supplementation that we will need to implement in order to help you to optimize your weight loss and to optimize your health. How do we make that weight loss situation? How do we make it more effective for you? How do we make it more efficient for you? How do we allow you to get there in the healthiest way possible? That's what supplementation is going to help you with, and that's what this video is really about. So we already talked about one very important piece of supplementation in another video, and that most important piece of supplementation, really what's at the center, is probiotics. How do we coordinate a healthy gut that allows us to absorb and allows us to process our food in the most efficient way possible while minimizing the amount of inflammation that we're encountering that gums up our system? So probiotics are a supplement, but they were so important that we had a whole video about them alone. Now, around probiotics, what we want to do is look at what exists in the next level of supplementation. And here, what we found works very well are your multivitamins in a very general sense, but not multivitamins to reconstitute everything that you might need to not supplement all of your deficiencies, but enough to take care of the pieces that we can't measure. So we want to make sure that your multivitamin is a high quality multivitamin, and what we use here at Physicians Total Wellness and Ptwow is Multithera from ProThera. And as a member of Physicians Total Wellness and Ptwow, you will receive access to ordering these supplements. And one of the things that I want to let you know about is that we only use pharmaceutical grade supplements that are only offered through physicians because we are comfortable with the quality measurements on these supplements. Most supplements are not subjected to the quality standard reviews of the supplements that are provided as pharmaceutical grade supplements. We want to make sure that they have really two primary qualifications. One is that they have the amount of ingredient that they say they have, and secondarily, that they don't have toxins or ingredients that we don't want them to have. So you can purchase supplementation, but we really don't know what is in that supplementation. One of the attorney generals on the East Coast recently sued several manufacturers and several retailers for supplementation, and that in some cases had only 14% of the active ingredient in the supplement. and in some cases had varying amounts of supplementation. But we want to make sure that we actually get what we're paying for and get the supplementation that we need in order to make our efforts at weight loss effective. The last thing that you need is to be using a supplement that does not take you to your goal of weight loss or health. What we want to make sure is not that we are providing 100% of every one of these supplements, but that we are allowing some piece of this to go to your diet, but capturing a vast majority of it with the supplementation that we're looking at in the specific areas that we encounter deficiencies that contribute to weight loss and contribute to ill health. So let's talk specifically about those. Multithera, your multivitamin, does provide you all of the smaller pieces of the supplementation that we cannot measure or that we don't want to spend money measuring pieces of. There are larger pieces that are more important for us to measure. What is your actual vitamin D level? What is your B12 level? These are pieces that we would do measurements on, and we're happy to assess those for you. Just let your weight loss coach or your physician know, and we'll be happy to get those tested for you. What can we do without testing? Without testing, we need to rely on our experience, on the experience of supplementation that has generally been deficient, but we want to make sure that we are providing it for you in the ways that are the healthiest ways possible. So Multithera allows us to do that. Prothera, as a supplement line, a pharmaceutical grade supplement line, provides us both with Therabiotic Complete and Multithera. And then it provides us with one more piece that we find is very effective in the setting of weight loss, and that is green tea extract. This third piece is a piece that, in the setting of calorie restriction, helps to push weight loss to burning fat as opposed to burning muscle. We want to be sure that the calorie restriction that you are working hard to maintain is going towards burning fat and not burning muscle. Green tea extract is one of the pieces that allows us to promote fat burning over muscle burning in the setting of calorie restriction. So these three pieces are central, and they're central to weight loss supplementation here at Ptwow and Physicians Total Wellness. There are pieces around that, and we can test specifically for your individual needs, but as a foundation, these three pieces are pieces that we feel are very, very effective. Now, Prothera has two other pieces that can be helpful. One with regards to simple carbohydrate intake, and one with regards to fat intake. And these are not regular supplements, these are episodic supplements. So they are supplements that help to reduce fat intake when you eat a fatty meal, and substances that help to reduce carbohydrate intake when you eat a carbohydrate-rich meal. So we find that many of our members find these to be very effective in case they have a meal that has too much fat, or in case they have a meal that has too many carbohydrates. So with TheraSlim from Prothera, what we have is a substance, it's a bean extract, that allows us to minimize the number of calories that are absorbed from that simple carbohydrate intake meal. With Nuvexa, we have a supplement that allows us to decrease the amount of calories that are absorbed from a fatty meal. So if you do have a meal that fits either one of these, we do have an option that allows you to minimize the impact of those. Now, that's not to encourage either simple carbohydrate or fatty meals, but since we all have indiscretions from time to time, they are tools that allow us to do something about that. In the meantime, the Therabiotic Complete, the Multithera, and the green tea extract allow us to address the majority of time when we are being as disciplined as we can be with our diet and calorie restriction. Beyond these five pieces, what we are looking at are two additional pieces that can be very, very helpful with regards to weight loss. One, and these both are from Numedica, one of the other pharmaceutical grade supplement lines that we work with here at Physicians Total Wellness and Ptwow, that you will also receive access to as a member. And if you have any difficulty with any of that, of course, speak with your weight loss coach, speak with us. We'll be happy to get that resolved for you. These other two pieces are pieces from Numedica, as I mentioned. The first one is absolute whey protein. Now, absolute whey protein is a protein that has been tested for purity, and it's also flavored with stevia. So we are not getting any artificial sweeteners in there. And avoiding artificial sweeteners is critical, because artificial sweeteners can work against us by killing gut bacteria, by creating a situation where we are increased risk for nervous issues or hepatic issues, liver issues, or nerve issues. We definitely do not want to kill gut bacteria. We want to grow them. So flavoring with stevia or sweetening with stevia is very important. Using a purified protein that is going to minimize our potential exposure to hormonally active toxins within milk is important. Absolute protein does all of that and provides us 16 grams of protein with 90 calories per serving. So it's a powerful, powerful tool to be consistent with the structured meal concept and also provide protein with a very low calorie intake. That is a piece that many of our patients and members will substitute for their morning Take Shape for Life as a breakfast. That's absolute whey protein from Numatica. The other piece is Power Greens. And Power Greens come in several flavors and come in chocolate, and, mint, and berry. And these Power Greens from Numatica are an excellent source of phytonutrients. With the structured meal program, one of the problems with the structured meal program is that we're not getting the fresh food that we ultimately want to have as a large part of your diet. And we're going to spend a lot of time talking about whole foods and whole food options and transitioning to whole foods. But the combination of whole foods and structured meals can be quite powerful, because while you're on Take Shape for Life, your whole food options are more restricted. We want to make sure that you have a serving or 2 servings of greens a day. And Power Greens, again flavored with stevia from Numatica, provides us that opportunity to get those greens in a very low calorie way, 40 calories per serving, 2 grams of protein. So it provides many, many benefits. This is the supplement constellation that we are looking at here at Ptwow. Of course, with Physicians Total Wellness and with individual assessment by a physician, your supplementation will be individualized to you. We'll go beyond these supplements to looking at additional supplements that may be necessary. We'll be doing testing. But with Ptwow and with Physicians Total Wellness, this is our core supplementation. And I'm happy to share that with you. And I look forward to speaking with you about more ways that we can work on getting you to healthy, efficient, effective, sustainable weight loss in our next video.